to give you a short encouragement from my house to yours. As I said yesterday, there's currently the 8-day celebration of Passover going on. And since before the time of Jesus, one of the traditions is that either all or part of Psalm 113 to 118 get recited every day as part of Passover. So I'm wanting to look through those this week. We've already looked at Psalm 113 yesterday, and today I wanted to look at Psalm 114. Now that is based upon the historical part of what Passover is begun with. And that was that the people of Israel were slaves in Egypt, and then God miraculously saved them and brought them out of that slavery. And what it says in the first few verses of Psalm 114 is that when the people came out of Egypt, that Judah was God's sanctuary, Israel was his dominion or was his realm. So it's that God's people were were a set apart place for God to be. It's sort of like saying, like, among this family, God had his place. He belonged. And it wasn't just a place, but he gets the best place among this family. That's sanctuary. That's his realm. That's being among his people. Now, I don't want to overdo the analogy, but work with me a bit on this. So in an analogy of our time of lockdown versus them, when God's people were in Egypt, they were slaves in a sense to the clock. They were told when they had to get up, when they had to go to work, what it was that they had to do. They were told when they had to be here, when they had to go there, and what they could or couldn't do at those times. As the slaves, they were told exactly when they were supposed to do certain things and what it was that they had to get done each day. And that meant that, at least for one thing, they weren't really free to worship whenever they wanted to. Now, many of us have jobs or things like that before the lockdown we also had to fit into certain schedules more often, and now we don't have that maybe as much. For some people you probably still do, but there are plenty of people who have more freedom in their schedule of when they do certain tasks, even if they still have their job. There's not the same time pressure that's put on there. And one of the things I want to encourage you in this time, if you've sort of been set free for that time pressure, is also to realize, okay, if you're set apart, if you've been set free of that, at least for a period, how can you be God's sanctuary? How can you be God's special place? How can your house be a place where God gets the good spot at the table, so to speak? So hopefully you'll take those opportunities in this time that we have to make your house, make yourself a sanctuary for God, a place where he's right in his element. He's right where he belongs.